Hey, thank you so much for downloading the episode. On the show today, we talk about Paula's sick cat. We also recap our very ugly brunch that we had on April Fool's Day. Yes, it was loud. Yes, we made a scene, and we have no regrets. All of this, plus some epic, ugly, and awkward moments of the week. Shotflipandclip.com. Thank you so much. Enjoy the show.
It's another uncensored look at the world around you from sisters who will say just about anything to anyone at any time. It's the Uggs. Jamie?
Stop clutching your pearls, ladies. It's fine.
Paula?
I'm a used-up wash rag. I'm not going to beat anyone's ma.
Uncensored as always, it's time for the ugly truth.
Welcome to The Ugly Truth. This is episode 360. Ugh.
Oh, we are Sisters Who Podcast.
Yes, we are. Welcome to The Ugly Truth. I'm Jamie, and this is my sister Paula, here to talk about our lives. Okay, sometimes when I read the episode number, it makes me go, man, that's really low. And it's like 360 is a lot for us, especially since we were only doing like one and now two a week. That's a lot.
I mean, we just started doing 2 a week within the last, 6 months or a year?
Yeah. So it's so funny when I'm like, 360, that's all. But we also talk for almost an hour before we record. And then I saw you, and we talked for like 12 hours.
Yeah, really. I was there the whole day.
I'm like, do we really even do a show? I mean, we've said all there is to say, but we will get to that. Okay, so this is super funny. Yesterday, because Malia's a senior, we're doing all the senior things. And what's funny about your senior year is with a kid, and you'll know soon enough, everything happens one after the other. There is no breathing time. It is very fast. Once spring comes, hold on, because everything comes at you super fast. So you get all the prep done in the beginning, like you order the yearbook, and we get our little cheer uniform, and we do all that stuff.
The announcements and...
No, we didn't do any of that. Well, we ordered her cap and gown because they make you do it like right away.
You didn't order any announcements?
No, I'm getting to that, I will tell you.
Okay.
So you can order them through Jostens if you want to, but that's not the thing anymore.
Oh.
The thing is to order custom ones. And so now that spring has sprung, yesterday we went to get her Letterman jacket. She finally lettered in cheer because the state has finally made comp cheer a sport.
Good.
And so they did it last year, but their district decided to wait a year. And Daryl and I went to war on that.
That's ridiculous.
Give her a fucking letter. Let her, what is it to you? It's a sanctioned sport, and she competed, and their team qualified. And so it was this big thing. And so this year, the athletic director gave us no problems and just gave us, she's like, yes, absolutely, they lettered. So she lettered. And so even though she graduates in 3 months, it is out of principle that we're getting her a Letterman jacket. Just we're doing it. So yesterday we went and ordered the Letterman jacket, and we were making her mad because these things are super custom.
Yeah.
And we all have opinions. I said, are you sure you want that? And she's like, well, I want megaphones, da da da. And I said, okay, those are cool. So the lady pulled out the megaphone that they use. And I said, well, how do you want it to ride on your sleeve? Do you want it up and down or to the side? And so we were talking about it. And I said, Malia, these look really phallic. Like, there's pom-poms and a megaphone, and they look like penises. And I'm like, I don't know if you should get these. She's like, I wasn't going to get the megaphones, Mom. God. And I'm like, I'm sorry. Am I annoying you? She goes, you're really annoying me. And I said, all right, fine. So I went and sat down. So it's all of that, right? And so finally that gets done. We go to Carmelita's, and we're sitting there having our lunch after the Letterman jacket. And I said, God, Malia, this is really the year of you, isn't it? And she's like, what do you mean? I go, I feel like every day my life is consumed with something that has to do with you graduating from high school. Something that happens all the time, by the way. And I wasn't getting resentful.
Well, it's not just her fault.
Of course. I know. And so it's not that. It's just every day it's something new. And that's what happens. That's the thing. And so we're putting together graduation dress outfits, and now she's getting her senior pictures taken next week. That requires 5 options for outfits. And so we've been dealing with that every day. And then the announcements come. When you get the photos done, you create custom announcements. So that's when we'll get them.
Okay, I gotcha.
And then we'll send them out. And then senior ball is coming like
Okay.
next month.
Really?
Yes, we already have the dress. We have to have it altered because she keeps losing weight. Can you imagine having that problem? Well, no, actually you do have that problem.
Well, kind of. Yeah, I have to go get like new jeans or something because I have a belt, but it just looks like the jeans are just hanging off my body.
I don't know. The jeans you were wearing the other day looked really nice.
Yeah, those are the one jeans that fit me, my Rockin' Republics, and they look awesome no matter who you are.
Those don't exist anymore, you know?
Shut up!
No, I have three. I had 3 pairs. And I went to buy more and they were gone. I'm like, what the hell? They don't make them anymore.
That's bullshit.
I know. Trust me. I love those jeans. And ultimately, I wore them out. And that's hard to do, by the way, because those are really well-made jeans. But
Those are like my special jeans. I never wear those. Like, unless I'm going out somewhere nice. I guess the only alternative I have is to go to like Nordstrom's and shop like their high-end designer jeans. Like,
well, yeah, I suppose. But, well, the problem with going to places like that is that they're either very modest for the older woman.
I don't want that. I don't want to have a front butt or something stupid.
Where they're practically pleated in
like
front.
Like mom jeans.
And they look like that because women wear baggy shirts. So you're never going to see the ugly part.
Oh, because they're just trying to hide the flab underneath.
But they just want to wear denim. So
they're high-waisted.
Yes, exactly.
God.
I don't like high-waisted jeans either, but they're comfortable, I'm sure.
Well, don't they have like a high-end denim department for like,
juniors?
Just for normal human beings,
I don't know. Or you get the jeans that are either super duper chemically treated,
okay,
or they have rips, or they have those super ornate pockets on the back. And I think those are kind of out now. Whenever I see those super ornate, and I have some jeans like that from 10 years ago, but they're dated to me.
Yeah.
It reminds me of those dudes that wear too much Drakkar cologne and they wear like pointy leather shoes and those
they're Italian loafers.
Super ornate jeans and their black t-shirt. And I'm just like,
I'm like, you just bought that today, didn't you?
And you smell like Macy's. Get out of here. God. For example, the photo you sent me of the New York City cop who had...
He was cute.
He was roided out and he had a mohawk.
A what
He was awful. He had a mohawk. His hair was like faux hawked. And he was a cop eating a hot dog.
No,
that
was an energy drink, I think. Maybe it was a hot dog. I don't really know. I'd let him lay on me.
You find this attractive? He looks... I can smell his cologne from here. And I live in California.
You know how I am,
Lord.
Jimmy.
I know.
I like what I like.
Don't ever apologize for it.
I like him big. I can't
You
help
like him
it.
big and you like him Italian.
Oh, God.
Just like my subs.
Can't help it.
There's nothing wrong with that. You know what? Those men do very well. They can't complain. And if they find a good woman, then he'll take you home to your ma. And that'll be that.
I don't want to meet anyone's ma.
Well,
Jeez.
That's what Italians love their mothers. You better get over it. Italian men love their mothers a lot.
I'm a used up wash rag. I'm not going to meet anyone's ma.
You're going to meet someone's mom. They're going to be like, she's too old for you, Joe. What are you doing with your life?
She's got kids.
She's got children?
Yeah.
Is she even Catholic, Joseph?
Nope. But she gives good head, Ma.
Ma, I love her. Do you love her a lot? I do, Ma. That's too bad.
Oh, my goodness.
God, it's so funny. That's going to be your life.
I don't think there's any good Italians in Sacramento, to be honest.
Look up, is there an Italian stallion society that I'm unaware of? I don't think so. I think you're correct. I've never met one.
I did, but we all know what happened with that one. So
well, he wasn't from here either. He didn't come from here. He was from a faraway place. I think he had mob ties anyway. I wouldn't fuck with that in a million years.
Oh God, I'd fuck with it one more time. Just to get that little locket. Did you hear about that?
No, what are you talking about? What
The
locket?
mob mistresses, they got lockets, and then the mob wives, they get rings.
I did not know that. That's not very valuable. I don't know, man. Can you imagine walking around and wearing a locket that everyone... You know each other. You'd recognize each other on the street. And the wives would know who you were.
The wives already know who you are.
You fucking whore! Get off my husband! Oh, God. I wouldn't want to mess with a mob wife. Woo.
They already know the game. Come on now.
Yeah, that is not a world that is attractive to me in any way whatsoever.
No, I don't want
Whatsoever.
anyone getting shot in the head. I've seen The Departed.
Ooh, oh no. It is a life that I will watch films about and read about, but I don't want to be
They
a part of
usually
it.
leave the women and children alone. So
They become unprotected if they end up in jail or something. I mean, they use them for fodder and shit. Like, and the government, they don't give a crap.
yeah, that's true.
They will absolutely take their wife and kids.
That's how you
They
end
do
up in
not
witness
care.
protection, living in Wisconsin, and freaking becoming a claims rep.
Yeah, suddenly Joseph is Timothy in IT.
He's in
And his wife Marge.
He's in jail, and you become Karen. Claims representative in Wisconsin, the cheese state.
With your two children in
Your
tow.
two children, and your hair is dyed blonde.
Yep.
Or in my case, brown. God.
Wait. Oh, Paula, you would be a terrible
A
brown-headed
short,
person.
short bob. Driving.
And what if they assigned you a minivan?
I probably would end up in a minute. God, that'd be punishment enough.
I'd be like, please don't do this to me. I'll go to jail. I don't want to drive a minivan. Please, I'm begging you. No mom jeans. Khaki mom jeans. No, capris with Skechers. Ah!
I'd probably have to wear brown contacts too. You know what? That dick was large, but it's not worth all that.
Thank
I'm
you.
just telling
Good God. Enough already. Find another one. All right. So let's move on and discuss some of the drama that you've been experiencing this week. Your old kitty, Toby, is ill.
God.
Let me just tell you before you get into the situation, because I know it's probably arduous. It kind of reminds me of an old man. He's a senior citizen living in your home.
So according to the chart we saw at the vet office, he is considered geriatric.
Yes.
Whatever that means.
Old.
Yes. Not senior,
No,
geriatric.
they're beyond. Yeah, I think 10 is senior.
Yeah, I don't really know. Well, he's going to be 15
Yeah,
in
he's
September.
getting up there.
So
What is the cat to human ratio? You know how a year of a human is 7 years to a dog?
I think it's about the same, actually. We were
Is it?
we were counting. I think it's about 7 years. So
Is it really?
By the
I did
time
not
they're
know
8
that.
months old, they're like 13 to 16 years old. So they're like
God,
already
they're the worst.
they're already teenagers,
They're such assholes at that age, too. They always look gangly and weird. And you're like, get away from me.
Well, I mean, when
What happened to
Toby
my kitten?
when Toby was that age, we had our other cat Calvin.
Mm-hmm.
And they were only like 6 months apart, but Calvin like repeatedly kicked Toby's ass every day. Every
he knew.
day. We would hear this.
Something's wrong with you. Something's wrong with you.
So we'd have to go and separate him. And Calvin was, of course, trying to bat at, every last little inch of him he could before we picked him up off the ground.
Oh, he was scrappy.
Oh, Calvin. Calvin used to hide under the bed, and he'd walk by and he'd slash at your ankles as you walked by.
Oh, I love it.
He was
I love cats like
feisty.
that.
God, he was
I love
feisty.
it. I love cats like that.
But
Anyway,
they
all
grow
right.
out of
so,
it.
So you have an old man living in your house.
So I was getting ready to get up anyway, but Victor comes in and he's like, Paula, there's something wrong with Toby.
Oh, my God.
And I'm like, what do you mean? He says he's got labored breathing and he just peed all over himself. And I'm just like, oh my God. And so I hopped right out of bed and I'm like, where is he? And he says he's on Ryan's bed. And he hasn't been on Ryan's bed in months. And so I go in there and sure enough, he is just breathing heavily, and fast, very rapid.
Oh, no.
And there was, the sheet was soaked and
Oh.
and I looked at him and he was not well. And so we moved him, tried to clean him up a little bit. But, he wasn't cleaning himself. He
He felt like crap.
He was just sitting in his own urine.
Oh my God.
And
do you know cats hide their illnesses until the very, very end?
I know. And so the vet office called us back and they said that they could get us in at 5:50. And so
he had to suffer all day,
basically. And so I told Victor about they can get us in at 5:50. Victor doesn't get off work till 6, so he doesn't get home until usually like 6:30, 6:45. So I said, we're going to take him in, and I said, just hurry and meet us there, because at this point we were positive that we were going to have to put him down.
Right.
We didn't know what was wrong with him, but we were just thinking like, this is the end. This has to be it. So they called me back like 5 minutes later and they said, we just had a cancellation. You can bring him in at 3:30. And I'm like, yeah, that'd be
nice.
great. And so
Yes.
then I'm thinking, great. It's going to be me and the kids. Victor's going to be at work. I'm going to have to do this by myself, and deal with this. And so the kids got home from school and I tried to prepare them as best I could.
You're like, you guys, Toby's sick.
I said, look, I'm like, Toby's
He's
not
15
well.
now.
I said he's older. He's not feeling good. It might be time for us to say goodbye. And so
And you're like, what?
So of course, Olivia is hysterical.
Of course.
And Ryan's just sitting there with a scrunch face with tears streaming down his face.
In his mind, he's like, do I need one more fucking thing this week?
And that's the other thing too, is the listeners don't realize last Friday we told the kids that Victor and I were splitting up. So
yeah, so it's like, let's pile it on.
It hasn't even been a week that we told them this was going on. And that we started switching rooms. Now Victor is sleeping in a different room.
Right.
Olivia's in my room. Brian's in his own room. So, there's been a lot going on in our house. And the last thing we needed was the fucking cat to die.
Yeah, I know. And I'm not laughing.
I know, but the constant in the house, the cat that they've known since birth
is now ill.
Because we had Toby before we had the children. So finally, it's time to leave. I wrap the cat in a blanket. I'm sitting in the front seat holding him, and the kids are in the back seat sobbing.
I assume you're angry.
I'm not angry. I'm actually really quite stoic. I'm trying to keep a brave face for the kids.
Because you're preparing, yes.
And, they're in the back seat sobbing. And the cat, he's always done this. Whenever he hears the kids, ever since they were babies, whenever he hears them make a sound or stir in their beds or start crying or coughing or something, he goes in their room and he starts meowing. Because he alerts us to let us know that there's something wrong with the babies.
Right.
And so he heard them crying in the back seat, and he kept turning his head to look in the back seat to see what was wrong. And
oh my God, that would have made me cry.
So he kept looking at Ryan, and it just made Ryan cry so much harder.
I would have bawled if I had seen that. I would have really lost it.
It was really difficult because he was bothered that Ryan was so upset.
So he still had his faculties,
but he just wasn't well enough to take action, I guess.
He wasn't going to meow at this point.
But he kept turning his head to look at Ryan like, what's wrong, Ryan? Like,
oh my God, Paula, that's just that's gut-wrenching.
It was horrible. And so, of course, we hit every fucking red light to get to that vet office.
And every slow person who doesn't know how to drive.
We hit a train because we have railroad tracks where we live. And I'm just like, this is just going to take fucking forever. He's going
to die in the car.
It's like Marley and Me. And so.
Oh my God, that movie.
That movie's horrible. Ryan hates that movie.
Really? I love it.
Oh God, it's awful.
I love it. I mean, the end is difficult, but obviously, but I love the whole movie. I love how much they hate him. And then the second he's old and chill, now he dies. It's like, come on, man. Spoiler alert. So
the four of us saps walk into the vet, and they're just like, this must be Toby. And I'm like, yes, this is Toby. So they put us in a room. The vet assistant comes in, takes down all the vitals and, weight and everything like that. Well, I had just brought him in 2 weeks before because we were concerned about some of his behaviors. He had been vomiting.
Right. I remember.
He didn't seem like himself and, all that stuff. But from the blood work and everything, nothing really indicated there was anything wrong with him other than he had lost 25% of his weight from the previous year that they had seen him.
Okay.
And so they said something is definitely up, but, you know, the procedures that they would, or the like ultrasounds and things that they would have to do, it's like $400. And I'm just like, well,
yes,
I can't really do that right now. So, you know, if he's not in pain or dying, we'll just take him home.
Right. So do you think he's been sick this whole time?
So here we are 2 weeks later. They weighed him again. He's lost a whole pound since
little man.
Since they just saw him.
Right.
And
right.
clearly he's ill. And so they gave us a charting or of what they want to do, and it was like $445. And so we were able to pay for everything that we needed. And so they sent us away for like an hour and a half or something like that. So we went and got something to eat. We got there at like, what did I say, 6:00. We didn't leave there until like almost 8:30.
And you had the whole family with you.
All four of us. Well, we thought we were saying goodbye.
I know.
And Olivia
Understood.
insisted. She's like, I want to be in the room. I'm like, you're not going to be in the room, Olivia.
Oh, boy. No.
I'm like, no. And Ryan's like, I don't want to be there. And I'm like, you don't have to be there. And so I said, you two can sit in the lobby. Daddy and I will take care of it. And
we'll deal with it.
Anyway, so when we meet with the vet, they tell us, he says, okay, so here's what I'm thinking. He says, I'm thinking, you know, based on everything I feel in his gut and his heart and everything like that, nothing's really jumping out. Mm-hmm. He says, we talked last time about possibly having like irritable bowel disease, which could cause all of the vomiting. And so he says with the irritable bowel disease, he says he could have vomited, he could have aspirated some of the vomit, and he could have gotten pneumonia. And if that's to happen, he says cats will take a nosedive really quick.
Yeah, their little lungs are very big.
Yeah, if you don't treat it. So we went to eat, came back, met with the doctor, and he says, I didn't even do the ultrasound. He says, I got everything I needed from the x-ray. He says, if you look here, here's his heart. He says, see all this cloudy stuff around it. He says, that's pneumonia.
Oh.
So what he said is the treatment plan that they've put him on is they gave him injections right away for nausea and antibiotic. And then sent him home with anti-nausea pills and antibiotic medication.
So is he feeling better?
He seems to be feeling better, but he says we really just have to watch him because cats can take a turn, just like babies. You know, they can just take a turn for the worse.
I have to tell you, I have noticed a very large group of people that I follow on social media who are losing their senior animals, dogs and cats. Very unusual.
When we were bringing him home, we were all like jaws dropped. Like we did not think we were bringing him home that night.
I have been the one to say goodbye to all of our animals.
Yeah.
I can do it. And I'll tell you what happened. A long time ago, I've said this before, a vet told me, they said, you know what's really great about our pets? They have no idea how long their lives are supposed to be. Mm-hmm. So if they die when they're kittens, as long as they felt love, then that's great. Mm-hmm. You know, if they have the privilege of living their full lifespan, they still have no idea that this is how long they were supposed to live.
Yeah.
They don't have regrets like humans. You know, all they care about is that they feel comfortable and they're safe and loved. That's all any animal ever wants.
And that's what I told the kids.
Yeah.
I just told them that, you know, Toby's lived his best life and we've loved
really
him.
has.
And, you know, he doesn't know that he could live longer or anything like that.
Yeah, he has no clue. Now, animals are primal and they do know when they're shutting down. And they will start doing weird shit like hide in the bathroom or stuff. You know, like Arthur, when Arthur was paralyzed because I was just trying to get him to live another week so that Tyler could come home because it was really his cat.
Yeah.
And 2 days later, he's flinging his paralyzed body off of the bed and trying to run under a bed to die. And I'm like, okay, clearly I'm trying to, you know, it's like trying to hold a baby in. You can't do it. When it's time to push, it's time. So I took him to the vet and we said goodbye. I obviously mourn, but I really I'm not inconsolable because I always feel good about our pets when they die because, and I don't mean positive, I just mean, I know we've literally given this animal the best life that they could have.
Right.
And that's really all as humans, that's all we can really do. And it's the worst part of pet ownership. It's just the worst. So
yeah.
I really hope you guys get some more time with him, though. I hope that this perks him up. And you never know. I mean, cats live till 20. Lots.
Could be. I mean, it could have bought us, who knows how much longer.
No one knows. No one knows until you know.
But at least we know now what it feels like, I guess, that, to have a sick animal and to understand mortality and all of that.
It's true. It's a lesson. It is definitely a lesson. Speaking of lessons, you and I and Stephanie, our sister, somehow by miracles unbeknownst to me, were able to gather for brunch on Monday, on April Fool's Day.
Cesar Chavez Day, aka
April Fool's. And I don't know how that happened, how the planets aligned and we were able to do it, but it happened.
You know what? Stephanie was be damned that it was going to happen, I believe.
Yes, she was on a mission. And so she wasn't going to let anything stop her. And I was really glad because she's the one that usually has to bow out and tell me that you didn't think the same thing I did when she said that her son got sick 2 days before.
Especially when she said her son got sick. I was just waiting for a garden variety bow out.
Yeah, I was waiting for, this or that.
I got bit by a mosquito. I have to, I can't make it.
I've got a million things to do and I can't fit it in. I really was so happy that did not happen. I was so thrilled.
She was actually early.
She was early. You were late. She was on time.
I was like 4 minutes late.
I know. I'm just saying, in the context of UGG time, she was early and you were late. It was crazy. Actually, you were on time and she was early, I should say. She showed up at 11 and you showed up at 11:04 and you were on time.
Right.
You would have been considered early, actually.
Yeah, really?
So I was so thrilled. It was not awkward or uncomfortable at all. It was like no time had passed. We went to brunch. We went to this cute little cafe, which I thought was a blast.
Yeah, it was until you guys started getting really loud.
You were drooling over our water boy,
the bus
which was
boy.
Hilarious.
Oh my God, he was just adorable.
He was a fetus, Paula.
He was of age.
Well, obviously, because he was working during the day on a school day.
He kept looking at us. I mean, it could have been because Stephanie was saying the F word at, a very loud octave, but...
we were fine initially. And, don't forget, I did suggest that we sit outside.
Yeah, that probably would have been a better idea.
But what was funny is, and so she ordered a Bloody Mary. I ordered a mimosa. They have two sizes. They have the mimosa in a flute, or they have what they call the Man-mosa that comes in a Bloody Mary glass.
They came in pint glasses.
Yes, pint glasses. And
I saw those things. I'm like, good God. I'm like, what the hell kind of place is this?
It's a great place. It's like Sam's with alcohol. I love it. And it's super busy all the time.
Yeah.
Because everybody loves it. And it's like a little secret. Like, not everybody knows this place. It's very local.
I couldn't find it again if I wanted to. I mean, unless I, MapQuested it.
That was my fault because I have no sense of direction whatsoever at all. And Stephanie gives me so much shit about it. God, she gives me so much crap. She goes, yeah, you've only lived here your whole fucking life. I'm like, hey, watch it. She was giving me crap the last time we were out and about with Mom. And of course, Mom's like, it's fine. It doesn't matter. We will get there when we get there. And I'm like, when did you become so saintly? You used to be like, God damn it, Jamie Lynn.
She's like, you're going to want to take a left up there. Okay, well, I guess we can just keep going.
God. And Stephanie's she's worse. So anyway, she's like, hey, you've only lived. And I'm like, okay, here we go. It's been 10 whole fucking minutes. And here we are being filthy and yelling at each other. And this should be a super fun breakfast. Actually, I thought it was amazing. I thought it was fun. We put on a little show for everyone.
And then some.
Okay, so we were fine. We were just living our life and talking. But the clientele there is definitely over 70, right?
It was very waspy.
It was waspy and old people.
Yeah,
essentially.
not the kind of people that like to hear the F word shouted across the room.
She only did that once,
Okay.
first of all. So, I mean, were you embarrassed by us?
Well, things started to get a little bit loud, and you never know where our conversations are going to go. And I was the
True.
only one that was sober. So I was just I'm like, hey guys, you want to keep it down a little bit?
I know. And then Stephanie having none of your shit.
Yeah. She's like, I'll talk as fucking loud as I want to.
Yeah. She's like, hi, I'm Stephanie. Have we met? I mean, there was going to be none of it. But here's the thing with situations like that. First of all, I don't give a shit. We aren't talking about things that aren't, I mean, they may not be appropriate for breakfast conversation, but it's not,
JB,
we're just talking.
Our subjects sometimes aren't appropriate for any conversations.
That's why we have a podcast now.
I know.
No, but it did start to elevate, but I was having a great time. I didn't care. And what was super funny is, in the scene when Harry met Sally, when she's faking the orgasm in the deli,
Yes.
and the woman is staring at her and giving her the grandmother look, like, like what do you think you're doing in public look?
Yeah.
We got that. There was a group of women.
Oh, there was.
There was two older women, and they were probably in their 70s, women with a much older gentleman who was obviously a father or brother or of some kind, and he was far older. He looked like a little raisin, like he was small, like this was his outing, right? So I think based on that is why they were acting offended. But the reality is she gave me the look of death, and I looked at her like, what are you going to do about it? I mean, really, what are you going to do?
Yeah,
We're not
really.
being so obnoxious. We didn't shut the place down. People weren't stopping their chewing and staring at us. It was just, we were lively. And I don't apologize for it personally, because I think that people unconsciously enjoy that. They like to hear, they like to see what are those girls talking about. And here's the thing. Doesn't matter where we are, we cause a scene.
Yes.
We could be quiet and people would still be going, wonder what they're doing over there. Mm-hmm. I don't know why that is.
Well, we were just out of place, I think, because we didn't fit the majority of the leaves rustling in the room. So,
Yeah. I don't know. I had a great time. I thought it was a super fun time.
And then you guys ordered a double or a second round.
A second round, yes. Well, it was brunch.
Shortly after that is when we decided to vacate.
Yes, and then Stephanie and I are trying to glug it down. We're like,
God.
like, we can't let this go to waste.
God forbid.
It's been a long time since you've been out with us. You forget.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, I mean, normally it's dark and it's louder. So I don't feel as embarrassed.
Oh, God, really? You were embarrassed?
No, I wasn't embarrassed. I think I was too fixated on the bus boy.
Stop clutching your pearls, ladies. It's fine. You just forgot what it was like to be young and free.
Yeah, that's probably true.
To them,
plus,
we
it was a Monday morning, for crying out loud.
They're probably sitting going, is this our April Fool's joke? Is this a prank? Are we being filmed?
I know, really.
Are we supposed?
Is
we're
this
not
that new
raucous.
Impractical Joker show?
Is something going to happen? Are they going to start throwing food or something? What's going to happen? Luckily, we left. And then things. A lot of people were like breathing a sigh of relief, going, "Phew, that was a lot." Yeah, welcome to our world. That's what we are. We're a lot. I don't apologize for it, though. You know what? No regrets. No regrets. So then we go back to my house where there's champagne chilling. So Stephanie and I have some more champagne, and it was delicious. Mm-hmm. And I thought the conversation was great. Initially we have to rehash a few things. I learned some new things about my sisters that I did not actually know.
Like what?
Well, just like the state of the union of everyone's relationships and homesteads and all of that stuff.
Right.
Because we really hadn't talked a lot.
Oh, right. I know what you're talking about.
We really hadn't talked a lot about anything in a long time beyond whatever.
Well, to be honest, I don't know that we would have been that open previously. I was quite surprised.
I agree.
It was interesting.
I didn't tell Daryl anything, but what I did tell him was, I said it was nice to just hear other people talking, because I feel like and not by you guys, but in general, I feel like I'm interrogated a lot about what goes on in my house and what goes on in my life, because I just am the oldest, and you know, it's just, I'm like the conduit for the family when it comes to like our parents and stuff, you know? And so it's like, I feel like I'm constantly talking about what's going on in my life and about Daryl and the children. And I get, maybe not by you so much, but I get a lot of judgment and a lot of interrogation from family members. Oh, yeah, a lot. They're like, oh, you're just rich. You don't understand. Or, oh, yeah, your kids are so perfect. I mean, all the time. And not daily, but there's a lot of judgment when I'm the facilitator. We all come to my house. We all, you know, I mean, I love it. But it's because I'm the oldest, and that's kind of the natural way of things. Like when I told Stephanie, I'm like, you could have sat in the front seat. She goes, I'm not going to do that. It's like, why not? It's like, because I'm the oldest. The oldest gets the front seat. That's just the way life goes.
That's the rule in my car. I mean,
it is. It's the rule in everyone's car.
You know, it's weird. It's not the rule in Victor's car, though. And I'm just like, what?
What?
What do you mean it's not the rule? Like, Olivia gets to sit in the front seat in his car. And I'm just like, that's not how it goes.
That is against all laws of nature.
That's what I told them. I'm just like, you know what? For as long as my life lived, I had to sit in the middle back hump seat.
Yep.
And I will forever force whoever's the littlest do the same, even though there's only two of you.
Even to this day, when like Natalie's home and we're all in the car together, Malia's in the hump. She's in the middle and she hates it. But such is life, you know. That is the way of it. Anyway, so it was nice to just sit and listen to everybody else talk about their lives, because it's the first time I haven't had to defend mine. It was awesome. I loved it.
Yeah, no, it was nice.
It was a relief. Anyway,
I have a quick question for you.
Yes.
Back to the when the Harry met Sally. You know when she faked the orgasm?
Yes.
Have you ever had one like that?
No.
Okay, good. I never have either, but when she did that, I'm just like, there's no fucking way. Like, just impossible.
That is overacting, and I swear to God, if a woman truly ever does, I'd like to meet her. There's nothing I've never ever, and I've had some top 10s where I can actually remember them, and never did I behave like that.
I mean, I can barely utter noises. I'm practically like choked off, you know?
Well, that's the thing, is usually you're breathless.
You're like in convulsions or something. I mean,
if a woman can do that, she's faking it.
Exactly.
I have never met a woman who has that much ability to breathe through and scream, oh yes, that loud, and is truly having an orgasm.
And like slamming your hands on the desk or whatever. I mean, yeah, that's
freaking just lying.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, I have grabbed the sheet and stuff like that.
Yeah, sure.
Right before, but during, I don't even know what I look like. I bet I look ridiculous when I'm actually in the throes of orgasm.
I think I look like I'm having an exorcism.
I don't even want to know. I'm sure it's, you know, a man would go, oh no, it's really sexy. I'm like, no, it can't possibly. I'm sure I look like The Exorcist. I'm sure that's what I look like. Sure it ain't good.
Yeah, I'm with you. Okay, that's all I wanted to know.
Oh, okay. Anyway, yeah, so the conversation was great. We're all chilling. We're listening to music. We're talking about TV that we're watching or not watching. We're talking about our children. We're talking about sex. We're talking about whatever. Now, the subject of religion always comes up because it's inconsistent, but most of our lives off and on, we were raised in a conservative Christian home, and so we're all fairly scarred by it. So we talk about it in joking manners, and we also get a little deep, like we're not sure what the right religion is. And so we're sitting there talking kind of deeply about how we think being a Jew would be interesting, and all of a sudden a car pulls in. And we're sitting on the couch in the front room, so there's curtains there. So
wait a minute. Do you want to talk about this? Is this your ugly and awkward moment?
We can segue into it.
Okay.
Or I'll just say this is my ugly and awkward moment because it's so incredible. So all of a sudden, a car pulls into the driveway. Now, where I live, we get a lot of witnesses. We get a lot of Mormons. We get a lot of religious duos coming through because we're in a very safe neighborhood. And they can go through the whole area in like 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. So it's a real popular place to come. And Easter's coming. And so everybody's inviting everyone to the church. Mm-hmm. But because I avoid missionaries and those at all costs, because I don't want to get into the discussion, I don't answer the door because I just don't want to. And so we're sitting there and the car pulls into the driveway and we're all, stop. And suddenly it becomes a horror movie. Stop. Someone just pulled in the driveway. And I look and I see it and I don't recognize the car. And I go, I think it's witnesses. And we all get up and run to a hiding place. It was the most hilarious thing. I laughed about that even yesterday. I was laughing about it last night. How we scattered quickly. And so Daryl hears a stampede of people running. Then he hears a thud.
Yes.
Because me, with a full glass of champagne, trips over nothing and falls flat on my face on the floor. And all I remember is splashing champagne into my eye, all over my hair, and going, it burns! It burns! And I'm all, run! Hide! And Malia's like, it's my boyfriend, Bryce. And when I fell so hard, I almost like belly flopped on the floor.
I was surprised you didn't break the champagne glass.
I know, I didn't. Well, I landed on carpet, so I mean.
Well, you splashed the back of my leg as I was running up the stairs.
As you were running. And so all I remember is when I fell, I peed a little because I had to pee. Well, I had to pee because we had been drinking, and I was like, this is horrifying. And so, oh my God, it was. And then Daryl comes out, and Stephanie is hiding in the laundry room area. And she's standing there in the shadows, and Daryl comes out with his headphones on. He's like, what the fuck is going on out here?
Right.
And Stephanie just does this shrug like, I don't know. She's just like, I have no idea. I just ran.
She thought it was hilarious because he was wearing these silver headphones, though.
Because he was doing a conference call. And he just comes out, he's like, what the fuck? What happened out here? I'm like, what? I can't see. Help. And so then Bryce comes in, and we're all laughing, of course. Bryce comes in. He's like, la, la, la. He goes, hey, your cat left you a present. I'm like, what are you talking about? And I am absolutely hammered. I'm like, what are you talking about? And I look down, and there's a dead bird on our front welcome mat. After all of that.
It was a baby bird.
Yes. And so nobody wanted to deal with it. I said, I'll deal with it. So I pick up the entire mat. I turn around and I fling the dead bird off of the mat because I turned around too fast.
Yeah, and you flung it right in front of my car.
I know. And it fell. Here's the funny thing. All of it on my security video.
Oh, God.
The whole thing. Not the falling and all that, but the whole bird flinging. And so I'm all, and I fling it. I turn around. I go, that's it. I've had enough of this. And I walk in, and it's really funny. Oh, super duper funny. It was hilarious.
Yeah, no, it was. It was pretty ridiculous.
I laughed so fucking. The part that made me laugh wasn't me falling. What made me laugh was us running like children to hide.
Yeah, we were going fast.
We were not messing around. We're like, we are not talking to any Bible thumpers today. Thank you very much. We were like out of there.
That's how traumatized we are.
We were traumatized.
Well, that should answer any outstanding questions we have.
That should learn us. Yeah, no kidding. So anyway, but it was a super fun gather. I hope you had fun.
I did have a good time. I had a really good time. So I was trying to get out of there a little bit earlier.
I know.
But you're like, no, stay. Everyone was. And so I didn't end up getting home until like 5:30.
Yeah.
You know, and we had met at 11. So it was an all-day event. But that's okay.
It was fun. Yeah, it was great. But you know why? Because I never know when I'm going to see Stephanie again.
No, that's true.
You know, I mean, I know you and I see each other. We try to see each other pretty regularly. So
pretty frequently,
I don't really worry about that so much. But what I do, it is just so hard to get her to come over and hang out. And so when we do see each other, the last thing I want to do is for it to end.
Yeah.
But, you know, we have really crazy lives. We're busy. And, you know, it is. I mean, we're all adult grown-ass women. We have shit to do. So it's not as easy. I am really jealous of those people who somehow carve out time to do stuff regularly. Like, I don't know how you do that. It's really cool. I just, you know, with like siblings and stuff, it's like, how do they do that? It's really cool. But I guess you all have to live really close and stuff.
Yeah, I think Facebook is a good thing. You
I
just
agree.
get to see what everyone's up to, but you have to be active,
Yeah,
So that's the other part. Like, Stephanie and Allison aren't too active on Facebook.
No.
About sharing what's going on.
It's funny because Stephanie's not really active on much. Allison's a little more active on Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
I try to be active on Instagram, but I just don't like to take pictures of stupid shit. So I just really, I think I overthink it a little bit. I'm like, ugh, I have nothing to post.
I take pictures of my animals. I get scared to take pictures of my kids, so.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't. I'm with you on that.
I mean, I still do it because I've pretty much vetted every person that, subscribes to me. But I still get nervous. I don't know. I'm always afraid there's going to be some weirdo out there. So.
Well, do you have an ugly and awkward moment of the week?
I do, actually.
Okay, well,
I mean, obviously it's not going to even compare to yours, but.
Please. Well, I'm the queen of it. Okay, so let's do your ugly and awkward moment of the week.
So we were at the vet's office the other night, and this dog, it was like this giant Lassie dog, and it had like a super long nose, and it had come out of one of the doctor rooms. It was on a leash and everything like that, but Olivia's like, oh, look at the dog, and the owner, she's like, well, she's friendly if you want to, or no, she says, he's friendly if you want to pet him. And so everyone's just like, oh, okay. So the dog came up to everyone and, got petted and everything. And then the dog comes up to me and dives its nose straight into my vagina.
Oh my God.
And now remember, I told you I started my period that morning.
Yes.
So I'm just like, and so I basically looked at the dog and I'm like, yeah, I know. So I tried to, grab its nose and pull it out. But, when dogs get that smell, they don't want to leave. So I was trying not to make like a big deal. I was like, oh, how cute the dog, I was trying not to make it seem like it was an issue. But everyone was just like, wow,
he really likes you.
He's really in there. And I'm like, yeah. So the dog left and it was just really quiet. So
oh my God.
As soon as the dog left and I just looked over at Victor and Victor's just like, well, that wasn't awkward.
Not at all.
I'm like,
jeez.
So
that is hilarious.
I just kind of started laughing and I'm like, whatever. I'm like, I'm tired. I don't give a fuck.
You're like, my cat's dying. I really don't care.
I'm
This
just
dog
like,
wants
yeah,
to
I'm on
do
the
that.
rag. The dog could smell it. What are we going to do?
Stop rooting around in there. Jeez, get out.
Right.
That's so funny.
But anyways, well, I think that's a wrap for this week. Next week, I can't wait to tell you about the new woman in Ryan's life. I think you probably already read about it.
I glanced over the Venom, so we will definitely have a dip into Paula's world again next week.
The girl with the fingernails.
Yes,
So
we'll talk about it for sure.
We'll talk about that, and I'm sure we have other things to talk about. Go to uglytruth.com, click on the Amazon button, and then lipandclip.com has all your makeup and skincare needs. I really believe spring will be happening at some point, even though it still rains. I don't know what's going on with the weather, but at least you can try and feel springy with your makeup. Maybe that will encourage the springtime to come. So
yes.
Other than that, I think you should have a fabulous week. Spring break will be here soon, so you can be home with your kids and let them drive you crazy. I know I'm looking forward to it. Who knows? Maybe I'll have a job by then. So have a fabulous week, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Thanks for listening and sharing the show. See you next time on The Ugly Truth.